What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live in a living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where'll I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time, DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people, and need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I have Allyson Galloway out of Memphis, Tennessee. Well, Memphis and Nashville. I guess she's all over that Tennessee place. You know, the music business. She's a singer, songwriter, marketer. I see a few what is under her belt: singer, songwriter, producer, marketing. Those are the four tent poles as I know it right now. But we're going to get into it with Allyson Galloway and learn a little bit more about her. I did listen to one song called The Broken Ones. I listened to a lot of songs on her YouTube, but that one, The Broken Ones, that one really resonates. All right, we're going to probably get into that in the next few minutes. Stick around. This week's shows, I have, 2.5 public shows. I have my regular Friday night gig at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, the video dance party, karaoke jam. Yes, I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. They got a full bar, the kitchen's open, pool tables. They got a pool tournament on Friday nights. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, come on out to the Rab, Conway, Arkansas. Yeah, good times. 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the a.m. is when I'm there. And you're the stars. I'm just pressing buttons. Let me press a button for you. And then on Saturday, I have a block party in Greenbrier. So that's kind of a public show. It's a block party in Greenbrier. So if you know about a block party in Greenbrier, Arkansas, on Saturday, it's probably that one. So if you're invited, you can come. But if you're not invited, probably they probably don't want you there. But that's okay, because on Sunday, I actually have a Sunday show this week. I'll be at the 70s store on Hippie Hill. Yeah, that 70s store in Conway, Arkansas, right next door to the Rab. So I really only have to go out one door, just down on the same hill, and move on over to the 70s store where they sell all that good paraphernalia. They got the posters and clothes and hippie stuff, you know. It's real fun. But they're going to have a little memorial for Sheila's son. He passed away recently. So she wants to throw a big bash and do a little fundraiser for various she wants to get some donations, I think, for the puppies, the Humane Society, maybe. And there's a couple more organizations that she holds dear, and she wants to, and there's a few public speakers coming. She's got a few bands coming. So it's not just the karaoke show that I'll be putting on, but I'll be playing between bands, while they're setting up. I'll have my PA system set up, so, and my video screens up. So if you want to sing a song while the pros, the professional singers, are getting their stuff set up, you can do that. You could be part of the show. It's a little concert starring each and every one of you. I like it. It's karaoke and professional bands all mixed up together. Speaking of professional singers, let's get into it with Allyson Galloway. I got her on Skype, so if you're listening to the audio version of this, check out the video version on my YouTube, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Skyping Allyson Galloway now. Wow, we look so professional. Don't we look like CNN or Fox or Max or whatever? Any of those streaming things. It's fantastic. Allyson Galloway's in my face. Good to see you. I've heard a lot about you. I've heard a lot about you from Blackstone Records himself. Give the people an idea of who you are, Allyson Galloway.
Well, I am just a simple girl. I am a mother of two, a wife, and I really enjoy writing music.
Well, yeah, you're just getting into your own. You're on. Well, I mean, it's okay. I read a thing where you're in the music business. How long have you been in the music business, putting your heart into it?
Probably about less than a year, actually. I hadn't done music before now. I was in choir and stuff, but I never did music before.
Well, you've already made a name for yourself. Your music is obviously resonating with people. It resonated with me. The reason that I named this Broken Ones is, well, I'm a very visual person. That's the one that you took the time to make a music video out of. And when I go to the Rab on Friday night, in fact, I have 3 shows this week that are kind of quasi-public shows. And I'm going to take the time to put out that music video, even though it is so sad. It is so sad. I feel the pain I'm going to use that word, resonates again. It flows through you. You could feel the pain that was put into that song. Let's start there. What is The Broken Ones? What is that about?
It's actually about Jelly Roll. I don't know if you have noticed. I met Jelly Roll not that long ago, and when meeting him, I decided to get into music and start writing because he mentioned in his songs that it was therapy, and it really does work for a lot of people, and I tried it, and it worked for me. I used to have nightmares, and now it's been 8 months nightmare free. Let's knock on wood.
Well, I mean, Jelly Roll, he's just zoomed up into superstardom because of his authenticity, because he's a real person. It feels like it. Every time I hear him talk, every time and there haven't been many interviews that I've seen with him where he's, not singing, but even the storytelling, it sounds like he connects with the common folk, with the little people like me, And I do karaoke shows on the weekends, and a lot of times people will sing the "Save Me," and I think one of his other hits, he's got like a good handful that are karaoke worthy, but the "Save Me" song. Oh my goodness. This is the second time today that Jelly Roll has been brought up. I have a memorial show coming up on Sunday. This lady that owns the 70s store here in Conway, Arkansas, her son passed away. So she's having a little memorial for him on Sunday. And she knows that his friends that graduated in 2016, they want that Drake music, but they've also come into she says, if somebody sings "Save Me," she is going to cry. She is going to bawl. She's going to fall on the floor on her knees and just, look at the heavens, I guess. What do you think?
Well, I really hope somebody sings her that song.
I believe that.
I'm not that far.
Well, let's talk about that, okay? Okay. I think we froze for a second.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about where you come from. You're from Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, it's a lot of people think, it's tourist destination. It's got Elvis Presley, Graceland. It's got Sun Records. It's got Stax Records. Oh yeah, it's got a lot of tourist. It's got Beale Street, I guess. It's got the tourist areas. But once you get off of those areas, I stayed at the Heartbreak Hotel, years ago before it burned down. Oh. It's right across the street from Graceland.
I know.
And I stayed in the Jungle Room, which is room 223. And no, I don't have my keys with me. I told the lady at the front desk, I'm going to steal one of these keys because they had real keys. And she goes, just leave your deposit. Everybody steals them. I said, can I have 2? One for my grandma? She says, just, throw me another $10. No problem. So I have 2 keys. I gave one to my grandma, who is a super fan of Elvis. But yeah, I walked to the drugstore from Graceland, from the Heartbreak Hotel, and I noticed a little bit of plight the off streets. Once you get out of the tourist area where they've actually cleaned up, it starts to get a little dirtier.
Yeah.
Tell me about little Allie Galloway. Were you Allie back then, or were you always Allison?
Yeah.
Tell me about you.
A little bit of both. I'd say my friends call me Allie.
All right. Well, I'd like to be your friend. I'll call you Allie.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
As far as Memphis goes, I would say the biggest thing I hate is over the years, it's progressively gotten worse. The crime rate is astronomical, and I just believe that we can do better for what we are doing now. Unfortunately, tourists don't really just come anywhere near the reality of Memphis. So they don't actually see what Memphis is truly like unless they do go to a gas station or something of the sort. And with that, it's a brief moment in a lifetime of trouble for people that have tried to just get through it. You know, Memphis is, I always say Memphis is kind of like a little stuck zone. You're kind of stuck there, and hopefully you get out, but if not, it's not a good place to be stuck. I'll tell you that.
Well, I mean, I feel the pain in a lot of your songs, and I listen to the whole record, Life, and then Dear Mama has its own release. It's Raining, and Dear Mama. Oh my gosh, what happened? Oh, what happened with Dear Mama? Yeah. Did you lose your mom at a young age? What happened?
No, actually, my mom is still living.
Okay.
I believe. When you say it like that, yes, I did lose my mom at a young age, but it was in a different way. My mom has had trouble with addiction and trouble with just, family matters when it comes down to it. And I've struggled a lot to try to speak with her over it, but there's not really a very good connection there. So I decided to write that song after a major part of our life, and it was a contributing factor, of course. But with that being said, I still believe and hope that one day she will come around and things will turn up. And I've lived a long life and I've seen a lot of weird things happen, so it's very possible it could get better.
Well, Allie, she's still around, so there's still hope. And I feel your pain. My mom actually was on this podcast just a couple of years ago, and she told me things that no son should ever hear about their parents. She's a child of the 60s and, had her troubles in the 70s and the 80s. I know my dad left before I was born or when I was 3 months old. I didn't know a lot of what he did. So she had to cope with that. And she said it on the podcast. There was drinking, there was drugging, there was all that. And thankfully when she hit that rock bottom, she figured it out and she took those steps. And that's
the most important thing.
Yeah, we have a good relationship. I mean, has she taken those steps? Do you feel like there's a light at the end of the tunnel? No, not yet.
No,
I
wish.
Okay.
I actually, I'm going to be releasing a new song called Deserve You. And that's kind of how a lot of people feel, in a sense of, maybe they don't deserve the other person. Maybe they don't deserve the love that they've been given, things of that sort. So that new song coming out is going to open a lot of insight as to how a child may feel in that light, And then there's another song called Nobody Wins. The next song after that is called Nobody Wins, and that is directly about my family. I will say most of my songs are based on true events. We're going to say that. The Jelly Roll song is a true story, so I was happy that we were able to even write it like that. I was amazed to tell the story in such a neat way.
Well, Allie Galloway, I hope there was some joy. I know growing up, I had, my mom was single a lot. She had a few marriages, but there was grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, people that I thought might be cousins. and they kind of helped to raise my brother and I and my stepsister as well. Did you have any of that? Did you have some good times in your life, Miss Allie Galloway?
I did. I will say a lot of the good times were spent with my sisters. My sisters have been my rock since day one. Since they were born, I was the oldest. But taking care of them throughout their childhood and even co-parenting, I would call it, with my mother has really allowed me and my mother to stay close for as long as possible. Let's just say it like that.
Well, one thing that it does, I guess I was a latchkey kid, and my brother and I had to take care of each other. Sometimes I'd beat him up a little bit, but until he got bigger than me, and he started beating me up. So we had to come to some kind of a truce and figure out that, hey, we're family. We got to take care of each other because our parents are going to go at some point. And there's nothing as strong as siblings, and now you have children, and so that will. Yeah. I mean, the extension of that becomes you learning from your childhood, your parenthood, and then passing that along to your children.
My childhood is what not to do.
Yeah.
And I will say I am not. I'm not doing exactly the way that I. Should. I'm sure nobody is, but ultimately I try to do the best I can, and my children have just been wonderful. So I gotta say I'm doing something right for them to be so dang cute and sweet, and they really do have kind hearts.
Hey, I got two girls myself, and I appreciate them. One of them made me a grandpa twice, so I'm kind of excited about that. And we've lost touch a little bit since in over the years, but I do have one that's still in the house. So I have a chance to really make that one shine. But the one that I lost touch with is shining as well, and that's all we hope for our children is that they do better than we did, that we give them a better life, or at least help than we had, and they succeed. I want them to do better than I ever did.
That's what I'm doing the music for. My daughter's 6 years old, and when it comes down to it, I wanted them to see that anything is possible. Anything at all. You can do whatever you want to do.
Well, yeah. I mean, meeting Jelly Roll was definitely a turning point in your life because
it has helped me see a lot differently.
Yeah, because in that 6 to 8 months or so, that less than a year, you have skyrocketed. How are you coming up with all these songs? And this is all within the last year. You have a full album plus a few extra singles just for good measure. Just a little cherry on top, a little extra chocolate sauce, if you like that kind of thing, which I do. How are you coming up with all these songs and laying them down? Who's helping you record? Are you doing it all by yourself? Do you have some friends in the biz?
Yeah, we definitely have a good team. We have great players. The session players that we're getting, we've hired several different sessions, and it's always been the same players. So we're sticking to the team that we got. I have a producer. He's 20 years old. He is amazing. One of the most talented gentlemen I've ever met in my life. And he's really helped me see the music, not just hear it. So I feel like ultimately we've grown such a team together. There's only a few of us, but we're working it out. We got 14 songs almost done total. So within 8 to 10 months, we'll have 14 songs. Yeah,
I mean, I looked at your YouTube. You have over 1,000 people already on the Allyson Galloway train. Getting out of the station, just barely out of the station, and we're ready to take the express to. I don't know where my metaphor is going, but I know that you have quite an engine and on this thing, and I'm happy that I'm on the caboose. I'm like the last one hanging on right now, and I'm enjoying myself. The ride is there. So you're taking the pain that was in your life and you're turning it into joy for other people or a lesson for other people. If people listen to the song, listen to the words, I mean, they're going to feel it because the chord progression is like somber. Oh my gosh. Is there a peppy song in this list that I may not have recognized?
100 Proof, I would say, is the happy. 100 Proof is how I am as a person. I'm coming straight 100 proof. And the line in it says they'll need a chaser for this 100 proof. So better go get you something to drink, guys.
All right. Well, I do want to go back to Memphis because one thing that I did notice is that you were born on April 4th. What is significant about April 4 in Memphis? And I'll give you even another hint. 1968. Did you get any of that history in Memphis? April 4, 1968. I feel like
I have. I do remember something happening on that day. Is it in the 60s? Is that? No, I'm sorry. I guess I don't.
Martin Luther King Jr. was shot. He was shot by James Earl Ray in Memphis at the Lorraine Hotel, if I'm not mistaken. And you were born just a few years later on the same day. So maybe a little bit of that pain. I don't know how you know, astrology is fun. Astrology is entertaining. Some people really believe in it. You know, can a date really affect your upbringing, your energy? I know that when you perform in front of people, the energy from the crowd, it seems to energize me. I don't know what it does to you when you get in front of a crowd. Do you get that energy? Yes. Does it flow?
Oh, yeah. I really enjoy it. I started off on TikTok and I kind of blew up. I got about 92,000 followers now, and it's gotten extreme. But with that performance, I gained confidence and learned how to understand that people are watching, but they're not, it's not judgment, That's the biggest thing. It's not judgment on their part. They enjoy it. We're all here for the same reason. So.
Well, I mean, you grew up just a little before the internet, just before social media really took off. And as you were coming into your own, social media started in the late 90s, early 2000s. And how did it change you? I mean, you have no other really perspective, because I grew up in the 80s. I'm class of 86. I'm guessing you're much, much later, maybe class of 2008, possibly somewhere around there, 2009.
Yeah, hey, you're pretty close.
Okay.
You're really close.
Well, I mean, judging, but you grew up with the internet, and you already told me, that you have so many subscribers, so many followers. That is the way of the world. It used to be album sales. Album sales are in the toilet now. Nobody sells albums. Nobody sells records. Barely sells singles. That's pretty much why Spotify and Apple ate the record companies' lunch, is because, the record companies were putting out crap. They were putting out an album, 10 songs, only one, maybe two were good. So you're spending $20 on a whole album and you only like one song. Well, now you have to put out good product because every song is a single. Spotify, Apple, you can buy one song. And if you don't make all the other songs good, nobody's ever going to hear them. But you don't have that problem. You have a team. You have a 20-year-old. His hearing is probably so much better than mine because I've had these headphones on at least since 1986, probably a lot earlier than that because I was the high school DJ or one of them. But but his hearing has got to be so good. And a lot of kids start off in their bedroom using, some kind of FL Studio or Fruity Loops or some kind of garage band. Tell me about your experience with this 20-year-old kid. How did you get together with that?
Well, to be honest, I think it was fate. I really believe that it had to have been. I had a photo shoot that day, and I did not want to go out, but something told me I need to go because you're going to meet some people that you need to know, and you just need to get out there. So I went, and he was the first person I talked to that night, and the only person I talked to. I left after I talked to him. I decided that was why I came, and after that, we have been going ever since. We've just been getting at it. These songs are just coming out. We're about to write 6 more. We're on our way, doing the final vocals for the last 8. And these are very different. We're trying to do different things with each song. So each song's going to introduce a new category of genre. And we're going to try to blend some genres and do some real funky things.
See, I like that.
What Memphis is all about.
That is one thing about an independent artist is you have that ability. You have that ability to get yourself out of a box. Some people in the record business will paint you in a corner. They did it to Taylor Swift. They said, "Oh, you got to have a country record. You got to have more country songs on here." Well, she didn't want that. She wanted to go pop. She wanted to play a little rock. And Dolly Parton, they tried to put her in a box. No, she came up with a rock album. You know, they tried to put her. Well, that was because she was going to get inducted in the Hall of Fame, and she goes, "I need to make a rock record before I get put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame." So that's integrity. That's fantastic. But you know.
And both of them, Taylor and Dolly, are just inspirations to all women. Honestly, I would love to just sit down with one of them, just say hello, hear anything that they have to say, because ultimately with their experience and the things that they've overcome, it's a great inspiration. And I just hope that I can overcome it too, because it's the same in the music industry now with female artists. It's very difficult. The first question some labels ask me is, how much does your hair cost? Well, luckily I do it myself, so no worries over here. But it's just the way it is, and I understand that, but we're going to overcome all of it.
Well, anybody that looks at social media can see you were a blonde, now you're brunette. What?
Yes.
Who has more fun? Is it blondes or brunettes? And how many other colors have you had?
Definitely brunettes. I promise you that. I had a lot of fun as a blonde, but no, brunette is where it's at.
All right. Well, I guess traditionally you get taken more seriously as a brunette than as a blonde. Okay. All right. But superficials aside, there's a lot more substance than that. Now, tell me, how long did you get to spend with Jelly Roll, and what was that conversation like?
I only got a brief moment. I actually just walked up to him and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, but I know exactly who you are, and I cannot let you walk past me. It is very nice to meet you," and I shook his hand, and I talked to him, and he kind of asked what was I doing at the store that I was in. And I just came in to use the restroom. That's even worse. I literally was using the restroom. My husband was working there, and we just ran in, and there he was. And we talked for a few moments, and I was about to walk away, and he said, "Well, do you want a picture?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, of course I'd love to have a picture." I didn't even ask for the picture to begin with. I couldn't believe it, but I was just so overwhelmed. And after I saw him at his concert, we did a video together. I went to his concert. That was one of the first large concerts that I've ever gone to. And we did a little short clip video. Still didn't get to talk very much. And that was all before the Broken Ones came out. So I don't think he knows about it yet.
Well, that would have been that was very vulnerable of Jelly Roll asking you to take a picture with him, because what if you would have said, "Oh no, I'm good."
I know, that would have been just horrible. No, I'm straight. I'm good.
I'm good.
Oh, no. I was dying for the picture. To be honest, I did not want to bother him. I felt like I was just the rudest person in the world bothering this man while he's out shopping, and I just didn't want to bug him. And I don't even think I told him what I would say today. I don't know. If I'd say it again, I'd probably freeze again. You never know.
Well, it sounds like that meeting, though brief, it was, it was substantial. I've met a lot of famous people over the years. I lived in Miami and I worked on radio in Miami. So I had a lot of people in front of me just like you. And I got to chit chat with them for a little bit. Not since the podcasts have been made up. I guess I started this one about 5 years ago. But on radio, you get 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes with somebody. How much can you really know about somebody spending just that short amount of time? The thing I like about this is that people are learning. We might not ever, people can go to listen to the music, and I encourage you to go check out Allyson Galloway's music, my loyal listener. But I want to know the person behind the music, and I'm getting to know that a little bit. Now, we're still in Memphis. When did you... Well, what kind of stuff were you getting into in school? Were you a good student? Were you average? What you do in school?
I played basketball, volleyball, and softball. I was on the swim team. I went to church on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and I was in band and choir. It was a little excessive. I was a very busy person. Yeah.
And I noticed you're drinking the Red Bull. This portion of the podcast brought to you by Red Bull. Please sponsor Allyson Galloway. Send her lots of money and send her lots of Red Bull drinks because she's going to need it. If she's going to keep up that same energy that she had in high school with all the sports, she's a jock and a geek.
I got both.
Yeah, a little bit of both. I like that. Were you good in the reading, writing, and arithmetic as well, or was it mostly the extracurriculars that turned you on?
Numbers don't lie.
What's that?
Numbers don't lie. I was really good in math.
Very cool.
I love numbers. That's one of my favorite things. I've dealt with numbers and money and things like that from really young, and I guess that's the Memphis in me. I don't know.
Well, I mean, numbers unlock the universe. Numbers will take us to the moon and beyond. And numbers, a lot of people say that music is very mathematical, very numerical. I know that people have tried to put a formula on music. Hey, that song sounded good. Why don't you write 10 more songs just like that, but not quite like that? Almost like that. Does it work that way? Never.
That formula.
Say it again.
Every song, I break that formula. We don't do the same thing. Ever, ever, ever. So I don't think you'll ever hear the same out of me because I don't have it. I don't have two of the same thing of anything, So I think that we're going to continue to break this chain of country music being this in the box kind of feel. A lot of music that is released now is coming from the same sources, and a lot of those same sources want to stay in the box. I'm pulling all of them out. Everybody's coming out of the box and we're running around.
Well, I mean, country music is your jumping off point. I don't feel like that's where you're going to stay forever and ever, but that is a good storytelling jumping off point. I'm thinking of Willie Nelson. I'm thinking of John Prine. I'm thinking of George Jones. I'm thinking of the great storytelling songs that I've heard, in my lifetime. Dolly Parton, Loretta Lynn, the coal miner's daughter. I'm thinking about these stories that can be told in the country genre, and you're there. I mean, you've already you've accomplished that. You've gotten to the top of that mountain, or at least you're heading towards the peak of that mountain. And I see you heading up, and up. But on the way, you're picking up a few more genres. Tell me about this? You said the new record is gonna break that formula. Every song is gonna break that mathematical bind that I just tried so ever so slightly to paint you into. I mean, where are you exploring? Are you doing some rock and pop and what are you going to do, a reggae song? Where are you heading?
Okay, there's a lot of directions, and I'll tell you, I have a tattoo right here. It says, "Not all that wander are lost." So just remember that. And with that being said, I am going to introduce a metal genre into country. And I'm going to be introducing a hip hop rock genre. And we're going to we'll see how it goes. We're going to try to introduce rock, hip hop, maybe some rap, and maybe a little metal. I don't know what we're doing yet. I'm not sure. But we are really, really doing some different things that go so well together that you would never expect. And, I don't know. I just don't like that box. I don't like to be put in any kind of box.
All right, Allyson Galloway, you just proved it. You are a 90s baby. They were experimenting with that, doing a little hip hop with a little country, with a little rock, with a little rap, with a little this, with a little that. The first one, that I can remember is Run DMC and Aerosmith doing Walk This Way, with the rap and with the rock. And that was in the 80s, like the mid 80s. But then in the 90s, that really took off. So obviously, somebody had a car stereo, somebody had a record playing in your ear that really spoke to you, Allyson Galloway. And you're going to take that and you're going to take it to the moon. Now, tell me, when did you get out of Memphis? When did you figure out that Memphis ain't the place to be right now? You need to get over to Nashville, TN, just a few short hours away.
Well, I actually still live very close to Memphis. I'm only 15 minutes outside of Memphis where I live. But in Nashville area, the music is more prominent. So I kind of didn't have very many options there. But I definitely vowed to bring Memphis to Nashville. And you can take the Memphis or the girl out of Memphis, but you can't take the Memphis out of the girl. So I'm bringing it, and we're going to try our hardest to blend Memphis and Nashville. And I think it'll be fun. I really believe that a lot of value can come of this.
Well, I hear the happiness in your voice when you mention the husband. So obviously there's something good happening there. Tell me about how he feels about you becoming, a star in this business, possibly becoming a public person. You're already a public persona. You don't belong completely to him. You have a few thousand people that want to know more about you, that want to hang on to your every word and hear every note. How does he feel? And when did you meet up with him? Tell me about that journey.
I actually met my husband when I was very young, and I got with him, and then we had our child at a young age, and we started our family very, very young. So I've been with him 17 years.
Mazel tov.
And it's been a really long journey. I'll just say that. With that journey is some of the stories we're going to be telling in our songs. Shots After Midnight told a little bit of our story, and Hunter Proof is our story, if I've ever seen anything like it. But we're moving into Deserve You, the new song coming up. That one's going to be a little bit, we're just touching a little bit. And then there's going to be some major surprises that I can't tell you all about yet. So we got some extreme surprises. So I'm excited.
Well, every relationship has its ups and downs. It's work, but for the most part, as long as the good times outweigh the bad. But it sounds like you have a good partner that is helping you, to raise your children. What's that?
He's actually helping write the songs. He has written several songs for me. He wrote most of Shots After Midnight. He wrote most of Shots After Midnight for me. And I touch it up and fine tune some words. Some of his phrasing, he's real country, so he's not necessarily the one to say it properly, So we have to make sure the English is exactly the way it needs to be. But when it comes down to it, he's put his heart and soul into this just as much as I have. And we want everyone to know that this is a group effort, and we're trying to just tell a huge story that we feel like we've been holding in our pockets for so long.
Well, that's
I'm
nice.
Excited. I really am. I'm excited to share it with y'all, and I really hope that y'all enjoy it, and I hope good comes of it, because it's been kind of crazy over here. So we need some good out of this.
Well, like I said, you have a good partnership. You have somebody that's not only supporting you in your music endeavor, but he's also helping to write this music. Is he musically inclined as well? Is he in the band or what?
Not at all. He actually is an electrician.
There's a job that will always be in demand. People like their electricity. Without the electricity, we wouldn't be doing this podcast. How about that?
Yes,
so
right.
I appreciate that. I went to a vocational school for 2 years in high school, and I took electronics. So I appreciate that. I thought that maybe I would have some kind of a future in electronics. I'm glad he went all the way, and hey, that's cool. You got a good man there. What's that?
Yes, he does great. We actually started a business a couple years ago, and the business is what helps fund our music. So we're able to take care of one business with the other.
Well,
we
plug
just
it.
try our hardest to,
Plug it. Tell the people if they're in the Memphis area or anywhere in the surrounding areas. Come on, you got to plug these things.
Oh, okay. So our business is Mystic Services. It's for Memphis, Mystic, of course. And definitely give us a holler. You can look us up on Google, anywhere really. We're on Facebook, a little bit everywhere. Just Mystic Services.
We'll give the phone number so that they can blow up.
Okay, sure. The phone number is 662-544-6484. And definitely give us a call. We try our hardest to get to everyone in a pretty timely manner. It's within a 24 to 48 hour, give or take,
Well, it's good. I'm glad you have that business that affords you the ability to do what you love, the night business. Yeah. Now he's dabbled in the music business with the songwriting. Are you dabbling in the electric business? Are you wiring stuff?
Yeah. 100%. Yes. I have been to houses where he's done burnout houses, and he's had me pull in wires and hold this and get the flashlight. I need this. One day I was sitting, I got a video of it. I'll have to show it to everybody. One day I was sitting outside watching him put it was an electrical meter for I can't think of the name of it now, but it's on everybody's house. It looks like a big antenna. Okay. Basically, he's putting that up. And with that being said, I'm sitting down there watching him, making sure if he falls off or, who knows what'll happen. So I'm always kind of around to help with it. And I've gone on calls with him a lot. It's our business. We take care of it together. I do the invoicing and billing and things like that. So we just try to work it as best we can and get to be able to do so much with it. We just want to do good with the money that we've gained. We got money for the business. Now we got to put it back into the world and try to gain some. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the words to use, but to be honest, I just hope that this works. I really hope that everybody enjoys it, like I've tried to portray it, I hope, let's say.
Well, that's something else that says about you, Allyson Galloway, is you have this perfectly good business. Being an electrician, if you work it right, you can make a really, really good living as an electrician. You don't need this music business. You don't need to be going out, getting up all hours of the night, working from 9 p.m. until 2 a.m., with the load out. Trying to get a few people together to get in the band, to get in the van, to go drive cross country. You don't need all this. You got a great business, but obviously it's in your heart. It's in your soul. It's dug itself in there within the last year, and you have to do it. I mean, how far do you want to go? Do you want to keep this a local, to where you do gigs? Because there's a few ways to make it in the music business. You could be a wedding singer or a corporate singer, or go sing at clubs, at bars, local, in town, or you could travel and be in festivals, or you could travel even further, go out of the country. How far do you want Allyson Galloway, the singer, to go?
The sky's the limit, baby.
You want to go to the moon? You want to be the first singer on the moon?
Yes.
Somebody call Elon Musk right now. Tell him you need a seat on Artemis coming up in 2025, and that's and you know math, so you'll be very helpful in the Artemis mission. What do you think about that with the math, the geekiness? Let's explore how geeky is Allyson Galloway with your maths. Do you like the exploration of space? What's your favorite pop culture? What movies are you watching?
Well, as far as pop culture, I would say Taylor Swift's killing it. I love everything that she's doing right now. She's really making an impact with her words, along with the feeling of her music. Not just the music that you hear, you also need to feel it as well. So I feel like with the pop music, that's a big thing. Movies, I don't watch a lot of movies. I will, but I watch Big Bang Theory. I am a nerd.
Nerd. Bazinga.
I watch Big Bang Theory, and I color in a coloring book. I have it like right there. I'm sure looking at it. I do different inspirational colors, like kind of. Let me grab it. One sec. It's right here. It says "Follow Your Dreams," and it's an inspirational little coloring book. And like this one, it'll say "Enjoy Your Life."
Beautiful.
Little things like that. And I do a lot of outdoor activities. I go to creeks and I climb. Today I went to Rock Island, and me and my daughter climbed this terrible trail that we did, and it was unbearable, but we made it through, and it was absolutely breathtaking. We got to see about 5 waterfalls just back to back. And it was pretty overwhelming, but I just like to do regular things, outdoorsy things, and color in a coloring book and watch Big Bang Theory. And my favorite math subject is algebra. I don't know why. I like the letters and the numbers for some reason. Something about the letters and the numbers make more sense. Seems like they should go together all the time.
Well, I appreciate that you took that hike. And I usually, whenever somebody mentions a location, I put it on the What Makes You Famous walking tour. But since you downgraded it, you said it was terrible. It was a hard hike. It was not a great time, but I'm sure
I'll tell you, it was a very difficult, strenuous hike, but it was so worth it. In the end, oh my goodness, the view, they have this swimming area, and there was 5 waterfalls just surrounding us in this whole area. And it was gorgeous. So it was definitely worth it. But man, it took us 4 hours.
Well,
it was half of a mile, 4 hours.
As they say in the biz, the juice was worth the squeeze. So it was worth it in the end. You had some good mommy-daughter time. Those moments are precious. And you might write a song about it. Monetize that thing. No, I'm just kidding. Sometimes some events
take my notebook.
Yeah, some events are just for yourself. But every once in a while you do get inspired and you make another song about it. That's a superpower that you have, Allyson Galloway. And you've obviously infected your husband because he's got that power too, writing songs. So it's a family affair. Are the kids getting musical too? Are they writing their ABCs and 1, 2, 3s and hopefully a song for mommies?
Yes, actually, my daughter started recording a few songs. She's only 6. But yeah, I got her recording a cover of Kane Brown's song Heaven. She loves that song. and I thought it was really cool. So I did a cover for her. And when I did the cover, she was freaking out because she wanted to do it too. And after she learned it, she did it herself. And we were just playing at a home studio. But maybe one day we will try to actually really record it, because she does very good. She's probably going to be the next one. She'll be more famous than me.
And that's what we hope for our children, is that they do what they want to do and excel at that thing. Yeah. But you're excelling. You're becoming what you want to be. What the great Jelly Roll prophesized, that you need to go into the music business. He gave you that bump. He gave you that push. Now tell me who else is giving you that bump? You already mentioned the 20-year-old. You haven't mentioned him by name, and you haven't mentioned if he's got a recording studio that people can go follow in your footsteps and see if they can record with this fine young gentleman. Who is this guy? Give him a shout out.
Oh, his name is Andrew Williams. He doesn't own a studio, but he works out of Wood Song Studios, and it's a very good studio. I work a lot out of that one, and I also record with another gentleman named Seeger Rolls, and I work out of Phoenix Studios. Phoenix Studios has been amazing as well. So I just work with, whoever will have me. We'll just try anything, whatever. Let's just have some fun and make some good music, grab an instrument, and I got some words to put on it.
Well, you've already put it out in the universe. Maybe Dolly Parton or Taylor Swift's going to be calling you in the next little bit. So let's put it out there. Let's put it out there. Fingers crossed. Even though I don't know if I believe in fingers crossed. I don't know if there's any truth to all that. Is it hoodly poodly? I guess I've been having an existential crisis, trying to figure out who and what I am and who and what we are and what's our purpose here. But the nice thing about that for you is you can have those thoughts, those ideas, and write a song about it. Want to hear it? Here it go. It's a fantastic thing that you have. And I'm so impressed. I'm in awe. I've never written a song, let alone 12, 16 songs plus 10 more on the way. It just spitting them out, hit after hit after hit after hit. Oh my gosh. But okay. Now both of those studios, are they in the Memphis area, or are they like online studio?
I can't really do very much from Memphis. I do work at a studio in Memphis called Studio Plug. So if you wanted to check them out, they're a very good studio as well. But I have recorded most of my music out in Nashville at Wood Song. The music's recorded at Wood Song. The vocals recorded at Phoenix Studios. And that's just for preference. That's only because I'm picky. That's all it is.
Yeah, I know that people look for about $1,000, and people will work hard to make that $1,000. I know $1,000 sounds like a lot for a lot of people, and it is a lot. But if you had $1,000, you get yourself a good microphone, a good mixing board, a decent computer, a quiet room, probably a closet in your house, and you could lay down a track and send it anywhere in the world to a really good engineer, and they can mix something down out of it. Now, do you have a band? Do you have people that you work with, or do you travel over to Memphis or these two studios and they have their own house music? Tell me about the band.
We actually have a band. I would say it's a session band. So we get together in one day's time and we lay out 8 songs and we just party. We have a good day and we have fun. We order pizza and, get out there, and I'll have my moonshine. I have a little moonshine on that day, and we'll have pizza. And I want to say for the most part, we lay it out a little bit before. We have it all scheduled and ready what we're going to do. And then as we do it, we're like, oh, that sounded great. Do that. Or, oh, we could do this. And so we just work together. In the video for the Broken Ones, if you watch the video, it actually shows our process. That is my team in that video. And they are the ones I'm doing it for, just like all of us, So I feel like that's the best fitting for the Broken Ones. It really was a meaningful video just as well as the song.
Well, you're giving people gems. You got to do a little rehearsal before you actually get in that studio, so you're not wasting everybody's time. The engineer, the people's electricity. There can just as well be someone else in that room that is ready to go. So you got to show up ready for work, off book and ready to do your thing. Now, tell me about your writing songs. Do you know how to read and write music? So when you bring your music to these people, they have sheet music to read, or how is it you're writing these songs?
I used to be able to read music. I'll be honest. I used to be able to, because I've been in choir for like 8 years, for a really long time. So I did in choir. So I have a good sense of what it is. And I can really tell you a note almost like that. I can almost pinpoint what note, and I can even make a noise with my mouth to tell you what it is. It's weird, but I will say, for the most part, I don't read the music or write it. I have someone read it and write it for me. But the gentleman that I'm talking about is my producer. And what we do is we get together on it and we work it out, and I sing and he plays, and we just kind of make it. It's almost like a puzzle we're putting together. We're putting this puzzle together, and by the end of it, we just have this beautiful puzzle. It's gorgeous. Want to frame it and everything.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Like wax it over and make a work of art out of it. Yeah, that's I remember doing those. I remember doing puzzles, and the really good ones, you would kind of put some gel over the top of them and frame them and put them up on your walls. Oh my gosh. I remember making models and stuff like that. Yeah, there's stuff you get into that inspires you, and your metaphor is perfect, because it is a puzzle. And since you do have session players that are probably seasoned, that have been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years or more, and they know you come in there and you go, bum ba bum bum ba bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum ba, and they pick up an instrument, and you're like, oh, that's exactly what I wanted.
That's it.
Do you play any instruments at all anymore? Because I know you were in band.
The keyboard. I do. I play the piano and the keys, and I don't play it like just. I can't actually go out and play one of these new songs. I haven't learned them yet, but that is definitely going to be a big factor in what I'm going to try to do over the next few months. I'm going to be focusing on learning my songs and playing them on the keys, and then maybe I'll be able to do a little performance on the keys. But as of right now, no, I don't play very many instruments. I have played every instrument, though. I've played clarinet, trumpet, saxophone, drums. I've played the bass guitar. I've played the electric guitar. I've played, I just keep on. You want to get into the little xylophone thing. I played that thing. I played them all. But when it comes down to playing, I don't actually play. I think I hear so much music in my brain. I can't physically play just one instrument. I'm playing them all up here, I got them ready.
Do you have any instruments in your house that you can possibly?
Oh, I got lots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have 4 guitars. I have all the interface, all the microphones, all the things that you would need to record a work tape, or even if you really got a quiet room, I could probably record at home. It just depends on what microphone I want to use. But when it comes down to it, I have all the instruments. I have the keyboard. I'm trying to think of what else. I probably have more. I just probably forgot about them. Drum set. We actually do. My son plays the drums, and my daughter plays the guitar. And she's working on learning the guitar, and he's been playing the drums for about 4 years now. So we're working it out. It's a little music in here. I just believe that most of the music that we've grown to love and what we've done over these past few months is just recreating what we believe music should be. We want music to be more than it is now. We want more out of it. So we're just expecting more and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, you're doing great, Mama. That's another thing we want from our kids, not only to succeed, but also to do so well that they can take care of us when we get old and gray, so we don't have to work so hard. No, that's fantastic. They're taking over. You're making a little band, a little Jackson 5, a little Donnie and Marie, a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll, a little thing happening there. I like that. I like that. The Galloway family. Hey, the Galloway family. That's it. Yeah, you got. You're gonna have to get your husband in. Well, he's already doing great with the electricity. Nope. Keep him in that job. No. A good electrician is hard to find. In fact, I think I need an electrician here around the house. I can't get some things to work. I got a lot of honeydews on my list. My wife's out there and she's saying, "Honey, can you fix this?" And I go, "Let me watch a YouTube video and maybe I'll try to fix it without killing myself." No. A good electrician's hard to find. A good somebody that can work with their hands is very good. And I'm glad that you're helping him with that, and he's helping you with this, and everything is coming together. And look, I'd like to say that we're on the ground floor of this elevator going up to the 100th, but there's no way. We're not even on the ground floor. We got to be second, third, fourth. We're already like on the 10th floor with you. You've already done so much in such little time. You're a star on the rise, heading that way. I do want to be mindful of your time. I don't want this to be the last time that we talk, but I do want to start to land the plane and wind this thing down. But tell me about any shows that are coming up. Are you doing any gigging? I know you're not.
I am, yeah.
Are you? Well, I noticed that one of the pictures you were in front of like a karaoke bar. That was kind of fun. Let's see, it was Wannabe's karaoke bar. I don't know where that's at.
Oh, yeah.
And
they
Jason,
actually have a lot of places out there on Broadway. Those are a little different than what I perform in. I perform in the songwriters places. On Broadway, it's a lot of cover bands. So you're going to get a lot of bands that are playing things that you've already heard, and which is to be expected, of course, but not with us. We do only originals. We're all in it, and we're wanting to spread our music as best we can. And we go through our songwriting places like the Local in Nashville. That's one of them. And then the Green Room and the Commodore Grill. I perform a lot of times at those places. So if y'all are ever in Nashville, just stop by and ask about me. And most likely one of them has my number. They'll just call and we'll just come on down, But when it comes down to performances, I have some coming up too. I have one in Memphis that I'm almost positive about. And when I say that, it's in October. So we hadn't gotten the exact time yet, but we know it's somewhere between the 16th and the 20th. So we got that close. And we're booking more and more, but that'll be on Beale Street at BB King's. So we're going to be excited about that one. I'm really excited about that one.
Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the great Tony Black. He put us together. Tell me, how did you get together with Tony Black? He's been on this podcast a couple of times. He's quite a dude.
He messaged me on Facebook or Instagram, one of the two, and, mentioned wanting to talk about songwriting and, getting to talk to him. He's such a great person and he's so sweet. And I just felt like I was just right at home talking with him, and he's such a character. So to be honest, he's a treat, and I thank him very much for having me and introducing us. We're just trying to work on some new music and see what we can come up with. You never know.
Yeah, you talk about songwriters. He's a good follow. Like every other day, sometimes every day, I'm seeing song after song after song after song after song. So prolific. Yeah, I think Tony Black's probably the most prolific songwriter that I know personally. And
it is a lot.
Yeah. So pick one, choose one, sing one.
Yeah.
I know that putting the Allyson Galloway treatment on any one of those songs is going to make it that much better. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you getting to know some people and, developing good relationships, good business relationships, and even good friendships. You got your sisters, I guess, was it one sister or two sisters?
Two sisters, yeah.
Yeah, that are still in the picture. Hopefully mom comes around. Come on, mom. Love you, mom. All right. And it's good to have family. And you got your kids, you got your husband. Things are going great for Allyson Galloway, and I want you to succeed. Any other shout outs you want to give to people that helped you along the way?
I'd just give another shout out to my grandfather. My grandfather took me in when he didn't have to, and I lived with him for a long period of time in my childhood, and he really made it a childhood for me. I really appreciate it.
That's what you need. You need some kind of stability, and that's what we have to give to our children. That's what you're doing. You have a husband that's helping you to build something. You're building something together, be it the electric company or the music business. Yeah, and you're growing children. You're making fine, upstanding citizens of of society, of the world, and this is a good thing.
We're trying.
All right, let's close this thing down. I usually finish these things off with last words for the people. Like I said, I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. As time progresses, if you have something else to promote, I'm definitely going to play the Broken Ones and probably some of the other music on Life, as that's a really good album. And, what's that?
That's a good one. 100 Proof?
Yes. I think I listened to it, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But I do appreciate the music videos. I'm a child of the MTV era. So anybody that takes the time to make a music video, even a studio video or a live video, maybe like you singing live and just putting the track over the top of it. Yeah, or walking around in a meadow somewhere. These are just ideas. Yeah. But anybody that takes the time to make a music video, that's a +2 or +1 or plus extra in my book. All right.
Awesome.
Like I said, I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. I usually finish these things off with last words of the people. This could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, maybe a mantra that you wake up with every morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Allyson Galloway, give the last words for the people.
I do it for the broken ones.
Well, there you have it, party people. Allyson Galloway. Allie to her friends. I'm going to call her Allie, if I could be so bold. I knew that there was going to be some ups and downs in this one because judging by her song, reading a little bit about her story, there's a Q&A out there that says a little bit about her story. But just listening to a lot of her songs, there's some rough times she's been through, but it looks like she's come out the other side. Allyson, you're doing great. You got a husband and family and people that want to help you to succeed, me included. I want you to get to that next level and beyond. I'm so excited to hear more from you. I've already heard so much in the short time that you've really put your effort into the music business. I've heard so much already, and you're just hit after hit after hit after hit. And just, I see nothing but good things happening for you, Allyson Galloway. Keep on keeping on, as they say. All right, that's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Thank you so much once again, Allyson Galloway, for being on the show. Now, if you, yes, you, my loyal listener, I'm turning my attention to you. If you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.